Yes. Yes. Okay. I was a little hasty again. Did not do the audio check before we began the video. But that being said, I had to do a little tribute for Space Marine 2, which is already on the channel. So I went back to actually editing video and had a good time with that, and had to kind of get back on the bike. But again, you just remember what you knew before. I haven't edited a video with multiple layers and effects and all that kind of stuff in a long while on this channel. A lot of people recommend I go back to it. It's very time consuming. It's very addictive too. It is one of the most editing video is one of the most addicting forms of work I've ever experienced. Editing video is effort and frustration, and it's just like you were working a job. Even though this is more of a hobby for me, it's very time consuming. It takes a lot of deliberation and work and care and detail to get it the way you want. And but it is so addicting. It's just like, oh, I can add this, and oh, I can do this, and I'll try different things. I'll be like, oh, I didn't even know that was there. Let me incorporate that, and it's so much fun. But speaking of fun, I woke this morning to from the Video Game Awards, which I do not watch. And I'm sorry, even this impressive of a trailer is not going to get me to watch that glad-handing shit show that is the Video Game Awards. Okay. It's like a 3-hour long ad, and I'm not watching it. But I found out that they dropped an announcement for Space Marine 2, Space Marine Warhammer 40K, the real name of the game, Warhammer 40K Space Marine, which we can now say is Space Marine 1, thank God. And one of my major predictions when they came out with the anniversary edition and added some additional content to the original game, which is 10 years old. This year it's 10 years old. Came out in 2011. I was like, what? I was like, oh my God, are they going to come out with a sequel? And again, I was like, please, is this heralding? And it was kind of a letting people know that there was a change of hands, and that the new team was going to be handling this. The new team of it's let's see, I have it here. No. Yeah, it's Focus Entertainment and Saber Interactive, right? So Focus Entertainment, Saber Interactive have picked up the gauntlet, taken the baton, and they are giving us a sequel. Thank Lord God that we are getting a sequel to this game. So, I want to turn everybody on that I possibly can to this game. I will be pre-ordering. I will be supporting this franchise, because this, I have to say, and I may get burned alive by the Inquisition for the God Emperor, but the Space Marine, Warhammer 40K Space Marine, is, I think, one of the best, if not the best, Warhammer games. I love that it's like the third person. I love that it incorporates multiple aspects. You get the Inquisition in there. You get the orcs in there. You get demons and a Lord of Chaos in there. And they try to incorporate as much as they possibly can. And you get so much lore and so much goodness in there. The voice acting is excellent. They have a new voice actor. Seems competent. Not thrilled about it, but that's always a cost. That's always a money thing. Sometimes the money that is on the table is just outrageous. So, you know, they have to go to somebody that is a little bit more affordable but talented. So I am extremely excited about this title. I can't believe when I got up this morning and getting my daughter up and out for school today, and I'm like, I'm coming home and I'm making a video, and then I'm making another video, and then I'm going to play the original game as a tribute in my excitement for Warhammer. And I've been watching some Warhammer videos from these guys. That Warhammer guys, they're like never kissed a girl. I love them, but they're like such dorks. I mean, and I'm a Warhammer dork. I am. I'm not painting the little figurines. I'm not setting up little mock battles, and I'm not having play dates with other grown men over Warhammer. No, but I've always been a closet Warhammer fan, and games like Space Marine and the upcoming Space Marine 2 allow me to let that geek come out and enjoy that universe in a form that's more palpable to me than like desktop gaming. Okay, wow. I'm a grown man. Okay, I'm a grown man. All right, so let's jump into this trailer. Let me see if I get. I'm just gonna pop that chat up. Okay, so let's jump into the trailer, and hopefully we're getting some sound here, but let's check. Let's see what happens. Yeah. The Warhammer guy watches, he's like, that's a hive! That's a hive! And he guessed correctly that it was a Tyranid. It's Tyranids because that's the other horde race. Like orcs are like a horde battle style. Tyranids are a horde battle style. And some of the other races fight more traditional militarily, which is, and again, in this kind of a game, we lost the square, on the square, baby. I hate to say it, but like, Warhammer is so Masonic. So Masonic. The regalia and the whole, boom, money shot. Woo! Yeah, baby. Yeah, they decimate those bastards quick. Yeah, you got the chainsword. Beautiful. Deadly little Miho. Clive. There's a guy's name. The guy's voicing Titus is Clive. And I think, he just rips it off. He's just like, so much trash. I love the thug life he does right here. He's just like slow-mo, badass strut. The Emperor thinks he's got PTSD. He's like, he needs to go to counseling at this point. He's like, they're like, oh, look at that guy. He's just like, scum, scum. Nice. Woo! Boom! Yeah, baby. Oh, it's a mess. What a shit show he's walking into. Wow. Enough said. Enough said. Wow. Let's see if I can find like a good spot to hole up. Yeah, let's just leave it right there. With some fat. And those Tyranids are nasty. They take over people. They mutate. I mean, there's all kinds of like special versions of the Tyranids, and they're also known as gene stealers. And if you didn't know that, and you know, some of the earlier games like Space Hulk are based on going on these Space Hulks that come out of the warp. and you have to clear them of Tyranids, and Tyranids are more of an organic enemy. Very similar to like the aliens in the Alien movies, but like an entire race with all kinds of like crazy special. You go up in tiers in terms of the lethality and just the brutal and the size and scale. And it's just unbelievable. So it's like, yeah, take the aliens, and then like the Tyranids are like, the Tyranids would turn out the aliens in jail. They'd be like, "You're working for me now. You're my property." Yeah. Oh yeah. So Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, my video game dream has come true. This is one of the games that I was like, please, Jesus, let there be a sequel. The original game was so good and plays so well. It's one of those games that I don't know how you feel about it. It's available on the 360. It's cheap as dirt. You can get the anniversary edition with the extra content. Buy the original. It's not a wasted dollar in that game. Buy the original. Play the original before the sequel comes out. And I'm not a big pre-order guy, but oh yeah, pre-order, collector's edition, whatever that they produce for Space Marines 2, my house, please, my house. So this is LVO Toro, Fancy Action Now. This is my live trailer reaction. It is the Tyranid invasion of an Empire of Man planet, and the Space Marines Titus. Now, to give you a little backstory, at the end of the original Space Marines, Titus was called into question by the Inquisition. And this Inquisition is very similar to like a Stasi or a religious Inquisition, the Catholic Church Inquisition, or like the secret police, the Gestapo. And they dress all in black. They're very Gestapo-esque. But they have like pretty much autonomy to go anywhere. Like they really have the authority to pretty much go anywhere, interdict anybody if they feel that they become corrupted by chaos. So the Inquisition was created to eliminate the influence of chaos, because in the past, Space Marines that had been corrupted by chaos threatened. They did a mutiny basically. And part of that story is one of the biggest story arcs in Warhammer, which is the Horus Heresy, where, one of I believe he was a son of the Emperor of Man, and very well trusted and well respected and extremely powerful, second only to the Emperor at one point, led a group of Space Marines against the Empire, and almost killed the Emperor and almost took over the Empire. And it turned out that they were being influenced by chaos, which is this dimension in the warp of just malevolent evil. So the Inquisition, after the Horus Heresy, the Inquisition was created. And you got to correct me, I'm not Mr. Lore guy. I've not read the books, I'm not a tabletopper. This is just what I gather from my little closet Warhammer fandom. So they created the Inquisition to doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how powerful you are, what your reputation is, how many medals you got, et cetera, et cetera. The Inquisition can go ahead and interdict you and take you into custody. They can put you through the jumps. They can, torture you, interview you, whatever they need to do to ensure that you have not been touched by chaos, thereby protecting the Empire from another mutiny or Horus Heresy. So, and at the end of the first game, Titus, there's a younger Space Marine in his group called Leonidas. And Leonidas sees that Titus has acquired or has an innate resistance to the influence of chaos. So like mind control and some of the powers that they utilize, he was able to resist some of it and battle the Chaos Lord, whom he defeated. And he literally saved the planet, and he saved the technology that they were trying to protect from chaos. which was like this giant Titan battle machine. Just a giant robot. It's kind of like Liberty Prime, only like 10 times bigger. So they didn't want that captured by the orcs. So they sent these guys in to deal with it. And so he was interdicted by the Inquisition because Leonidas reported him. I believe it's Leonidas. Leonidas reported him to the Inquisition. So when they came out, the dust settled. They're done. They're walking out from the end of the mission. Boom. He gets pinched by the Inquisition. He gets taken into custody 200 years ago. Now, if you notice, he has got 4 gold buttons or bullets or whatever in his head. Each one of those, I've learned, is 100 years of service in the Ultramarines. In the original game, he has 2. So he was in the original game, he was 200 years as an Ultramarine. And in this game, he has, that's why they do the reveal, and you see he's got 4. It's 200 years later. Not 10 years later in the game, but 200 years later in the lore. So it's 200 years. He's also, and I watched a little bit from one of the really geeky Warhammer guys. I watched his analysis of the trailer, which came out today. And he's like, oh, he's been demoted. He's now, how he could tell by the insignia, I will never know. I have no idea. I'm not that deep in it. But he's like, oh, because he was a captain in the original game, and now he is a lieutenant in this game. So he has been demoted. So it's 200 years later, he's been demoted to lieutenant. And he has chains around one gauntlet, which is a sign that he is bound to the Inquisition for whatever reason. But he has advanced to a higher level of Ultramarine called I think it's the Primaris. I'm guessing it's the Primaris, and these are like the elite of the elite. So, there's Ultramarines at, writ large, and then there's within the Ultramarines, there is this Primaris where you are of that, you're like the special forces, you're the Navy SEALs of the Space Marines. So he has advanced himself and distinguished himself, and he's still active, but he was demoted in his original overall ranking. So it's going to be interesting to see how this relates to the backstory and how the writing is. So I'm very excited. I mean, for me, this is a big deal. This is like, Mario Maker 2 for somebody else. This is like Animal Crossing for somebody else. This is Pokemon like a Titanium or whatever for somebody else. But for me, this is a big deal. I really love the lore. I really love the universe and the attitude and the somberness and the battle cathedrals and the all of it. I love the fantasy of it, and I can't wait for this game to go. I'm so excited. It's kind of like if Elder Scrolls 6 was coming out. Not quite that much, but like close enough. Like I'm a big fan of this game, and it is a super hidden gem on whatever you get. It is not a backwardly compatible game, and I wish they'd work that out. But Games Workshop isn't always the easiest. They're very protective of their licensure, and they want to get paid. So it's like, if you say, hey, we'd like to make this backwardly compatible on our new system, oh, that's fine. You're going to have to pay royalty on every single download and all that stuff like that. They're not going to just be like, oh, that's great. We love the fans. Just go ahead and do that with a wink and a nod and a little sign here, and you're good. Just if they like it, that's not. Games Workshop is not kidding around, baby, with their license. Absolutely not. And you can't hold it against them, but I would love for this game to be backward compatible, but you can always tell when there's a license arrangement with a little bit of a difficult, I don't want to say difficult, but a little bit let's say somebody close to the vest with their franchise, and the Games Workshops is like one of the biggest on that. So I don't have hopes that this is going to be backwardly compatible, but they've given us something, that the better of those two options is a new game. Thank God for that. So I am thrilled that we're getting a new Warhammer game. I want to turn you on to the series. Now it's a series, thank God. Get the first game and play it through. It is not a long game, but it is a cathartic experience. It is a lot of fun. You are just this walking engine of destruction with a chainsword and many other iconic weapons from the lore, and it is just a joy to play. And it looks like they've preserved it with the care of a librarian or a historian or an antiquarian. I mean, just the care that has gone into this level of detail in the gameplay is gratifying to see. So hopefully I'll convince one or two or a dozen or 20 or 50 or 100 or all of my subscribers to buy this game and download it or buy it, buy a hard copy. If you're a collector, get Space Marine for the 360 or the PS3. I also own it for the PS3. So get this game now. It is something special. This is LVO Tour, Fancy Action Now. Space Marine 2.